When you think of summer, visions of backyard barbecues, food on the grill, and flavorful dishes may come to mind. And we found a chef who is all about functional cooking and is going to share his simple meal hacks and demo his Korean-inspired air-fried gluten-free chicken wings. Chef Girard Viverito, aka
Very good.
the sustainable chef, he joins us now with his cooking tips. I think that my mouth is just watering thinking about these chicken wings. I could barely get your name out, but we're happy to have you on the show. Let's first, before we get to the cooking, let's talk about cooking on a grill. You say there's a right way to do that.
Well, there's definitely a right way and there's a wrong way. Grills are inherently very hot. If you really put a thermometer to it, you're looking at about 500 or 600 degrees. You don't want food to stick, so I always recommend a good oil to provide lubrication, also a marinade, etc. The problem is so many people are using these chemical extracted seed oils that turn carcinogenic, inflammatory markers in your body rise. They're just really terrible for you. I mean, soy, canola, any of the seed, cottonseed. So I always recommend to use fruit-based oils such as an olive oil or a palm oil or coconut oil, something that is more natural and just pressed. And you know, when I talk about smoke point oils becoming carcinogenic, they also go rancid, they lose terrible flavor. So it's all about the right fats for the right jobs. So whether you're grilling or air frying, I actually like the flavor of butter. Now, butter's got a really low smoke point, but it just tastes so good. And I always try to find grass-fed butter. I'm all about sustainability, grass-fed butter better than grain-fed butter, but I don't want it to torch. So whenever I brush it on something, I mix it with oil. You have to find like the right fat for the right job. And when I started this seafood sustainability company, I traveled all around the world looking for proper fish. I started finding vegetables that were sustainable, oils. This one happens to be from Malaysia. It's a sustainable palm oil, bright red from the tocotrienols and the vitamin E. And what I have here is because I have actually have a celiac daughter, I had to start creating recipes that didn't have gluten. So here you can either use cornstarch or you could use arrowroot. We just take some wings. You can use legs, thighs, toss them in cornstarch. And what this will do is help drop some of the fat and it's going to crisp up. And what doesn't, you may be able to see that I melted some palm oil and some butter together. And I'm just going to brush this on here.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm going to let this, so this is actually, as opposed to deep frying, this is going to take up so much less oil. And watch how quick this is. I got a little hot pan here, little palm, and then in French cooking, we have something called mirepoix. In Asian, we call it Asian mirepoix. Instead of celery, carrots, and onion, we go with ginger, garlic, and shallots. And this is just so aromatic. I really wish I was in studio or you were here to smell this. You can hear that sizzling. We're going to let that cook. Another Asian-inspired ingredient I like is coconut sugar for a touch of sweetness. Gochujang, which is a Korean chili paste. It's not too hot, but it's very aromatic. Just going to blend this in here. And then another gluten-free hack that I like to use is something called tamari, which is a gluten-free soy. And we're going to steep this, and we're going to let this just come up to a little simmer. Now this palm has penetrated the cornstarch. I'm going to roll these over. And I want to get the other side. And too many people think frying is bad for you because you're adding a lot of fat to your diet. But the beauty, what I discovered, I can't believe after 35 years I'm finally going with technology. But this air fryer, I like knobs and I like gas.
I like the air fryer. You know, it does. You can when I do my wings, it crisps up a whole different way, and it's delicious.
I may be a new convert. So I have, for the magic of television, a set that I already started cooking. So I'm going to put these up here for a second. Okay. Transfer this rack to here. I like to set it for 370 degrees for about 20 minutes. And while this is cooking, I've got my sauce bubbling away and simmering here. And then you can see these are super crisp. I mean, if I was to peel off some of this crust, I mean, it's like glass. It's so crisp.
Wow.
And then we can put them on our tray. It's just super stunning. No gluten. Now you have your choice. I'll show you. I'm going to pick this up. I can offer these to my kids, or it's now baseball season. We can do glaze. We can do glaze on the side. We could do, I don't know, bareback, naked, whatever you want to call it. Well, and a couple of other hacks when you're doing this, make sure you season your protein before crusting it. Because it could blow off in the air fryer. Well, it could blow off in the air fryer or fall off. And if you have seasoned flour and then it's or cornstarch or arrowroot and it's not on the product, you still want to season that that food. So, in summary, I always say go for products like these. I go for as certified sustainable as I can, cholesterol neutral. I try not to put GMOs in my food, and everyone's like, well, your food's more expensive. Try watching your portion size also. If we're eating 4 to 6 ounces of food, you'd be surprised at how much money you could save. And in these trying times where we're trapped indoors and a lot of people are sedentary and not getting the exercise, you really want food that'll fuel your brain, fuel your body, and keep you mentally alert.
Well, I love the wings recipe and that Korean inspired. The Korean chicken is such a big thing. Is it okay to maybe
It
just,
is.
use a different sauce and marinade also to just help it pop a little bit more when it comes to the
You
flavor?
can 100%. I mean, if you want to go based out of New York and Buffalo, New York, where Buffalo wings are from, if you want to do a Buffalo style with his, Frank's hot sauce and butter, you could toss them in that. You could do. I sometimes I like to play around and put a little Parmesan cheese in
Oh,
my
okay.
breading with these, and still avoid the flour, so you get that nice melted cheese. You get that little Italian, maybe some garlic in there.
Lots
The
of
world is,
options.
I mean, use your creativity. But what I try to do is I get my kids, if they're always going to be on their devices, I want them to use them for good. Like research a country, research a flavor profile, what
A
spices,
parenting tip to
seasonings,
go with
and then
everything, hey, Chef?
yeah, let's talk about that at the dinner table.
Very good. Thanks so much for coming on the show. For more summer meal hacks and recipes, you can visit chefgerard.com.